Louisiana Beer Review's Old Monk 10,000 Super Beer. This beer is made for beer lovers to discover the special taste. Okay. For overseas export, only 8% alcohol. 650 milliliter bottle imported by Eastern Liquors USA, which they show on their website. The company is Mohan Meakin Limited, established 1855. They don't really say anything about this beer on the website. They just show it. We make it. And then if you look on the website, it'll explain how they came up. The name developed into Mohan Meakin Limited, mainly due to ownership changes over the years, consolidation and buyouts and whatnot. Big brewing company right outside of New Delhi, just east of New Delhi, look like. I bought this bottle at a liquor store in Catonsville, Baltimore County, Maryland. The liquor store is just north of United States Highway 40, westbound. Can't remember the name of the street, but it's like there's a diner, and then there's a Toyota dealership. You take a right there. It's really the first little shopping center before you get to the 7-Eleven. So it's easy to find. It's a main highway. It's a snap to find it. Anyway, and I was staying down up the road from there. All right, walking distance. It's cloudy. A lot of Indian beers will be cloudy, not so clear. It's golden. White head of foam. So in the United States it would be malt liquor, 8% high gravity malt liquor in fact, but in India it's just super beer. Can't use those kind of terms in the USA. So this was in the days of the British control of India, but 1855, previous to the establishment of the Empire of India under the newly crowned Empress of India, Victoria the First. There were a few British emperors of India. Victoria the First, 1876 to 1901. Then Edward, Emperor of India. Then George, Emperor of India, and then Edward the second Emperor of India, and then the second George, Emperor of India. All right, anyway, you say, oh, well, who cares? All right, and later the King of the Union of India, or the Dominion of India. Until 1950, when they cut all legal ties to the British government, aside from recognizing Queen Elizabeth, or King George VI, and then Queen Elizabeth, his daughter, as the head of the Commonwealth, which India is a member of the Commonwealth of Nations. All right, enough of the history lesson. But history is part of it because the British started the brewing in India with the famous Kingfisher beer and so on. Well, it smells clean. There's no sourness or strangeness or dirtiness with it. Let's go with the taste. It's a lot different than American high-gravity lagers or malt liquors because it does not taste like a high-gravity malt liquor. It tastes like a regular old beer. If I said to you in a blind setting, oh, try this, what do you think? You might think it's slightly lower carbonation than an American beer, adjunct lager, which this is an adjunct lager, I'm assuming. And I said, what do you think the ABV is? You probably think 5, maybe 5.2. Bread, just a generalized breadiness. Hop action. It's slight. There's the slightest little touch of grassy bitterness, but now the American high gravity malt liquors like Hurricane High Gravity, Old English 800, which I did see on the road trip, but I didn't buy any, and so on. They'll have higher, I think they'll have a higher international bitterness unit. They'll usually run 17 to 19 IBUs just to compensate for the sweetness from the high level of malt, extra malt, and fermentables like cornstarch to give it the high gravity. This one seems pretty low IBU, maybe around 13 or 12 or 13. There's a little fruitiness, like you say, green apple. It's a little bit. You would have to really think on it while you drink on it to pick that up. But I am thinking on it while I'm drinking on it and I'm picking it up. Body's high medium. That might give it away, the body. And the finish is semi-dry, like 52% dry and 48% sweet. So just tipped over to the dry side, but just barely. But you'd want that, because if it was the other way, it'd be, too sweet and cloying. You can feel it a little bit, the ABV coming into play. Lagers deliver alcohol straight to the bloodstream for whatever weird reason. Ales don't. I don't understand that. But the lagers is like injection, Ooh. So that would maybe tip you off if you were really concentrating. But the overall flavor is just a general lager. Now, Beer Advocate and Rate Beer, they hate it. I think one of the sites gives it a 2 out of 100 or some crazily low price, low score. Untapped is sort of not happy with it, but they're not going to give outrageous scores like a 2 out of 100. They don't go there, but all right. It's okay. There is a central bubble stream, and they're racing pretty fiercely, I have to say. If you get your wretched high gravities in America, like Crazy Stallion, which I bought in New York City some years back, it can be tough. And then you get those super high gravity monstrosities like Axe Head, 11%, undrinkable. The Camo series, which was beyond imagine, like you can't imagine that could be that bad. Are there some bad Euro ones? Yeah, like the Bang and the Boom, whatever those were, like Boom and Bang from Prague, Czech Republic. They were like 15%. Ooh. Super Brew 15 from Bucharest, Romania. I was really scared to drink that because I said, well, Romania, you don't know what's in it. But I couldn't finish any of those things. It tastes like chalk. The mouth feels like chalk. They were really worse than some of these low-grade American high gravity. Now this one seems to fall in between that. I think Hurricane high gravity, Old English 800 brand high gravity malt liquor, they would kill this. They got a lot better carbonation, more character, more better flavor. This one's kind of a little too low in carbonation, and it's got that funny little green apple thing going, just a little touch of it. But the main complaint is the overall flavor is just dull. It's bland. I had the Hayward's 5,000. Everything's like thousands in India. That was dynamite. It had a lot of bready notes and brown white bread crust and good flavor, and it was like, I think technically 7.9, but I don't know how. It's starting to pick up a little as it warms, a little of that alcohol. I don't know how popular this is in India. But old monk, maybe some old monks drank this kind of stuff back in the Middle Ages and the Renaissance days, the later days. Helles Stoppelbach, more or less, type thing. Polana Salvatore, Dunkel version. Yeah, I'm going to go with a C. 77 out of 100, a C. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's okay. And the strength of it does start to come into play as you sip on it. You can just detect it in the flavor, in the bloodstream and all of that. I'm glad I bought it. It's an interesting product. Came all the way from India. I think it's the same company that makes Taj Mahal and Flying Horse, and those are great. But they're 5% around that. So they're just dynamite. They're so luxuriously savory, even savory breadiness. So if you ever see Flying Horse and Taj Mahal, go for it. This, I don't know what people are using this for, so to speak, but anyway, that's all I can do with it. So we'll say a C. It's average, and we're going to end this review by saying y'all go to India and check out some of the breweries, assuming they'll let you take tours.